So grab your headphones, let the journey start. With Suzy's Vegas tales, she's stealing the heart. In the city of dreams, let's laugh and play. Suzy's Las Vegas podcast, come join the sway.
Well, I got to tell you, I am so excited about my guest today. She was on my show when I first started, and we were reminiscing a few minutes ago, but we're going to talk about how lucky are you today. She does such amazing work. And without further ado, here she is, Mystic Mona.
Oh, thank you, Suzy. Thank you for having me on your program. But yeah, I do remember one of your first broadcasts and how amazing you were.
Yeah.
It's like I knew you were gonna, as soon as you got your
My sea legs.
Well, that's the word. I was gonna say bearings, but as soon as you got your sea legs and let me mix metaphors and say you got in your lane, everything started to happen for you.
That's
But you are one of the influencers here, and you're one of the influencers for a certain age group that trusts what you have to say. So,
Well, that's good. So I trust her. So you definitely you got to watch the whole show and be sure to like, subscribe, and share, because this is really going to be a show.
You're so funny. You're so funny. So way back when I did their program the first time, we actually did a little reading for you, and maybe you'll allow me to do your cards again today.
Okay.
Which will be fun. But yeah, the way that I work is that I look at someone and I pick up a lot of energy from them right away.
Okay.
And so that's just kind of how it works, And,
works for me,
I
too.
do want to talk about something real quick.
Yeah.
Since you're allowing me to have a moment.
Yes.
So Las Vegas is very specialized in the sense that to do what I do legally, you have to go through a criminal background investigation, and you obtain a license called the Psychic Arts License. It is a privileged license. There's probably 60 people that are licensed as a reader in Vegas.
Really?
Right.
Okay.
But there's thousands of people in Vegas that are not.
Wow.
Okay.
That's dangerous.
Well, of course it is.
Well,
I
yeah.
mean, I have to tell you my worst story. Can I tell you my worst
please,
story?
I want to hear it.
So when this happened about 8 years ago. I get a phone call from a gal, and I'm doing a reading for her, and I said, somebody's betrayed you. I said, it almost feels like they're taking advantage of you, or they're draining your money, and I don't know why I'm getting this figure in my head, but I'm getting this figure of $80,000. And she says, well, there was a woman who approached me at the makeup counter at I think it was one of the really nice department stores, like Neiman Marcus or whatever, and got to talking with me. And she said, I'm picking up this very, very intense energy about you. And she says, oh, yeah, and my husband passed. And she goes, oh, well, he's suffering on the other side. And anyway, one thing led to another, and this person, this con artist, convinced her that if there was a special ritual or thing that she did, that her husband wouldn't be suffering.
Oh, no.
And so, of course, she was desperate because she was still in mourning, and this awful person is taking advantage of her, and said, well, it's $5,000 to do this ritual. And
$5,000?
$5,000. And so she paid it, right? And about 3 weeks go by, this person calls her again. Now, by the time she was done talking to this person, by the time she realized that this was probably a scam, she had given this woman over $80,000.
That's
all in cash.
Oh my God!
Right, and that was before Zelle payments or anything like that. But she would arrange to meet her and slip her this envelope, and it would have $5,000 cash in it. And then allegedly she did this ritual with a candle, and it was supposed to make her husband not suffer on the other side. And anyway, by the time she called me, and one of the first things that I saw in her reading was that she was being betrayed, that someone was taking advantage of her. Well, we almost got her to the point of reporting this person to the police department. Now,
Okay.
what happened is that she did give the officer the phone number that this person kept calling from. Well, it was a burner phone.
Oh, my God.
And there was no record of this person having any kind of licensing or anything out there. And basically,
There wasn't anything
there was no
they could
there was
do.
no way she had any kind of retribution.
Oh, my
So
God.
it was just one of those awful stories. So in Vegas,
Yes.
for you people that are tuning in from outside of Las Vegas,
Right.
there is a special license called Psychic Arts License. And the people that have gone through a criminal background investigation have this license. I've had the license since 2002. It doesn't really matter how long you've had the license as long as you have the license.
You're verified
Well,
that they know that you're
Basic-
real.
Well, it's not a test of psychic ability. It's to make sure that you haven't taken little old ladies for their life savings
Right,
or
right.
anybody else. right?
Exactly.
So and I hate to start out with a note like that when I'm on a talk show.
But it's a good note,
But
and that's
you
what
guys,
I like. I want people to know.
I don't care if you choose me to come to for a reading, but just make sure that whoever you talk to is Psychic Arts licensed, because if they are, it's going to be on their website. If they are, they're going to have no problem telling you not only that they're Psychic Arts licensed, but they have a license number to give to you.
Okay.
And there's other protocols that go with it.
All right.
People that are Psychic Arts licensed have to have a commercial address. So one of the signs that someone's not licensed is they want to come to you, or they want to meet at a coffee shop or at a park, or that they even work out of their home, right? Or a home, right? Because
Might not necessarily be their
this,
home.
okay, I have to tell you, this,
yeah.
this story was on the news. This was years ago. And there's this whole, it's getting talked in because your money is quote, quote, cursed, all right? So there's no such thing as curses. None of that is, it's like everything you have to make your life amazing is all inside you. All right, you change everything. I mean, Suzy, you're proof of that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you put your mind to something, man. There's nothing stopping you.
That's right.
All right. So, but this was, and I think you can look it up. It happened in Florida where this couple was told their money was cursed, and that they told her, or told the husband, bring the money to us. We will cleanse it for you, and then we will give it back to you. So he believed it,
God.
brought their whole life savings. It was like $280,000. Brought it, gave it to them, and she goes, "You come back in 3 days, and your money will be cleansed." Of course, they came back in 3 days. They were gone.
Well, of course they were gone.
They were gone, right? And I think that it was like an Airbnb kind of thing that they were. Anyway, it just, you guys, if it feels fishy, it is fishy. Okay,
Right.
I'm just saying. So, but anyway, let's go
Well,
into the.
I'm glad you told us that. I really am. We can never be too careful. You know that.
Right.
Every day there's something new that we're just shocked about, aren't we?
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Well, let's do it,
So one more thing. So
Yes.
my style of readings.
Okay.
First of all, one of the most ethical things is a ethical reader will not start reading for you unless you ask them permission. All right. So anyone that sidles up to you and starts talking to you or starts quote quote reading you, you may be led to a con. All right. So
Right.
so if that ever happens, you just basically walk away from the person. All
That's
right. So the first ethical, I guess, statement is that a reader won't do a reading for you unless you have permission, all right,
Okay.
to do that.
Okay.
So when you come to my office, which has, these are part of the requirements of the license. I have a commercial office. I work out of a Regis executive suite. You come in, you see my license posted on the wall. The other things posted on my wall in 1-inch letters are my rates, all right, which are the same rates that are on my website, which is www.mona.vegas.
Okay.
Same rates. So I charge the same for in person that I do over the phone. But you're supposed to have that. Now, if anyone you're talking to doesn't have that, they are likely not to be Psychic Arts licensed. Okay,
Okay.
just FYI. All right.
Okay.
Now, when I do a reading for someone, when I'm doing just a quick reading like at a special event, then I basically just tell you the most important thing you need to know.
Okay.
When I'm doing a full reading, and I think we're going to have time for me to do a quick full spread for you, which is what
Okay.
I'm going to do.
Good.
then I'm going to start with a certain section and then go through the whole level of the cards. And each card placement represents a certain category. All right. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to take this off and I'm going to clear the cards for you.
Okay.
And I shuffle them like a regular deck because I
Okay.
can.
Okay.
It's faster.
Well, I'm loving it. This
So
is
funny.
awesome. Mona.
All right. So now I'm going to have you, with your left hand, I want you to pull out 5 cards and make a little pile right here. Leave them face down.
Okay.
Take a sip of water while you're doing it.
Okay.
From Suzy's fabulous cup.
Okay, baby. How fun is this? Steve will be saying, oh my God. I'll have to get my husband to get a reading too, Mona.
There you go. All right. So we're going to set these aside for now. All right?
Okay.
And now I'm going to gather these up again. And with your left hand, I just want you to cut the deck for me.
Okay.
Just like that. Perfect. Nice and
Okay.
clean. All
Great.
right. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to move these up just a little bit
Okay.
so I have a little space. So you are actually really good with high maintenance men. That the more intelligent they are, the more high maintenance they are. You're actually really good at keeping them calm and basically keeping them happy. You bring harmony to chaos. And
Okay.
it's even more magnified if you yourself happen to be a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra.
I'm a Libra.
See, that's you
Okay.
right here.
Okay.
So I believe that this man over here is your husband.
Yes.
I believe this is the harmony that you've created between the two of you. And the biggest reason why this man found himself drawn to you is not just because you're attractive. It's because you accept him for exactly who he is. You don't try to change him. And by the way,
Yeah.
you and I,
Yeah.
women of a certain age,
Yes.
right?
We're 29 plus.
29. Actually, if I could pick,
27 plus.
if I could pick an age
Yeah.
to stay at for my whole life,
Yeah.
with where I was,
Okay.
I would pick age 32.
Okay. Why 32?
Well, because I was in great shape. I was with the fella that I ended up marrying.
Okay.
I loved my job, and I mean, just I lived by the beach. I mean, everything about that was,
was just perfect.
It was like, yeah, one of those cool things. So, anyway,
See, we're finding out more about
Right,
you,
I know,
too.
right?
Yeah, I'm loving it.
well, and you liked 27 because
Yeah.
that's when you were a beauty queen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah.
All right. So, in your first 5 cards, there is a very strong creative side to you that you have yet to explore.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, you're the one holding yourself back. So nobody can beat you up like you can. You're really, really self-critical.
Okay.
You also are really good at waiting for what you want. So you have the psychic gift card next to that. So you've actually learned to put it out there to the universe and then wait for signs that the universe is bringing it to you. So you're very good at like, if you said to your fabulous husband, for example, honey,
Okay.
someday I would like whatever. You know at some point you're going to get that whatever from him, right? You just know in your heart of hearts. Now, if more people could behave like that with everything they want, then anything they want can be drawn to them, all right?
True.
So there's a wonderful little prayer that I like to give to people. And you probably have a version of that you say to yourself. But the one I like, the one that I repeat to people is, Dear Spirit, thank you for the blessings in my life. I pray to be guided to peace, purpose, and prosperity. Thank you for your loving help. Amen.
That's beautiful.
Right. So the nice thing about it is that when things are going great, you can say that. When things aren't going so great, you can still say that.
That's right.
And it's a beautiful little prayer
It is.
to say
It's
before you
wonderful.
go to sleep.
Yes.
And you can say it over and over again, and it helps you fall asleep. Now, coincidence over the next 2 years is going to
Okay.
be your like superpower. Running into people you haven't seen in a while. Like you and I ran into each
Yeah,
other
it
at
was so
one of the
much
luxury
fun.
restaurants.
Yes.
And you're like, you should be on my show. I'm like, okay. And here I am. So it all worked out. So in the
It
middle,
feels so good.
I know, right?
Yes.
In the middle of your spread, now I'm going to bring you a real big truth. The base of your reading speaks to somebody that is around a lot of people and you know a lot of people, but you don't really like a lot of people. You're actually really, really picky who gets your private time. Now, again, when you're out in public, no one can work a room like you can. But at the end of the day, and part of this is because of your husband, just wants to be with you. And you want to put your sweatpants on and hang out and maybe be with your puppies or kittens, whatever you have at home,
Yeah.
and
Puppies.
just chill, right? But that is an interesting base of your reading. It's like I'm around a lot of people. People
Right.
are a bit of a necessary evil in a
That's right.
way, and the whole thing is about you creating freedom for yourself to do what you want. The card going into your reading talks about you're the same person no matter where you go. So you're the same person at the grocery store as you are out to dinner, as you are Trader Joe's, Bloomingdale's, wherever it is. It's like you're the same person no matter where you go.
Okay.
But you don't tolerate tedious people very well. There's a fella here, as a matter of fact, that you've had to take a big step back from because you kind of found out he was narcissistic and not what you thought he was going to be. And he's coming up more than once in your cards. So he's coming up 3 times. He's coming up as the first person that shows up in your reading. And this could be somebody that came to you and wanted you to help them professionally. And the more you got to know them, the more you went, oh no, this is not working. Because this young man was looking to have you focus him, and you found out that he was clever, and I'm not using clever as a compliment. So he was trying to be what he thought you wanted him to be. Do you recognize him?
Yes.
Okay, this is somebody that I definitely would take a really big, giant step back from.
Okay.
Because he is not what you thought he was, and the fact that he's coming up in your cards so strongly, totally have to step back from him. Okay,
That's correct.
Okay. So health, love, success, prosperity. When you focus on one thing at a time, you're brilliant. You actually have a lot of things that you do naturally well, and that's a gift. But the challenge of somebody that has a lot of natural talents is the ability to focus on one. And sometimes you don't focus on that one thing you do really well. I'm not worried at all about your love category, because in your love category, you've got the best card in the deck. So you know that you've found your person. And again, not worried about him at all, because he's coming up over here as the two of you getting along well. And then you've got the best card in the deck that anyone can get in your love category. So this is success and prosperity. So success and prosperity, there is a little bit of participation and hard work that has to happen to make your show bigger, all right?
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
actually wondering if it might be that this participation is that you look for one specific sponsor that takes care of the cost of all your show and maybe even pays you a little bit of a salary to do it. So it could be that maybe it's an amazing plastic surgeon, right? Or maybe it's somebody that owns a beauty salon. But I keep getting it feels like something like wellness or feminine improvement in some way. Okay,
Okay.
but
All right.
it's saying here that you have no problem walking in a door that you've never walked into before and asking the question. Because when someone tells you no, you define that as just not right now. Well, that just
Right.
means not right now, right?
Yeah.
And then these cards crowning you is, I wonder if this fella that I don't like is connected with a woman that I also don't like. And this is a woman that has learned that her feminine wiles get her a lot of what she wants. So she's probably very attractive and can be very charming. A matter of fact, more so than he is. But there's definitely an agenda there. And so it took you a bit to recognize it, but now you're just gracefully taking a step back. Just,
Right.
you know what? You're not part of my tribe here.
That's right.
This card here, integration, talks about, I think that the more subjects you bring up on your program that address issues that everybody is dealing with, I think that you're going to find that the viewership and the connection really picks up for you. So you're totally in the right place with what you're doing. I'm just saying that you need to, in my opinion, present it to people that want to support you in it. All right?
That's true.
Because
Yes.
this is an offer being presented to you. This card, so there's a card here, I'm going to hold it up. It looks like a monk going toward the light. And really what it means is the monk is so full of light that the light overflows from the monk's heart and shines ahead of it, beams ahead of him. So he becomes the source of light, not only for himself, but anyone else around him, because he's walking through the darkness. So when you start lighting the way, like if you did Suzy's top 10 tips for people moving to Vegas for the first time, you would start like saying some funny things, but really practical things. Like the funny thing, it's windy today, all right?
Yeah.
So, so if I wasn't a natural brunette again as of last week, right, then the wind would show that I needed to be a natural brunette again. Because when we have the wind here, it really goes nuts.
Yeah.
But for you to have like certain truths that go along with living here, like the air is so dry. It's like, how dry is it? Right? The air is so dry that you've really got to slather on the lotion here.
Oh my God!
Because if you don't, your skin's not going to survive.
Right.
So, but there is an offer of somebody within the next 4 months. So this resonates the number 4. This resonates the number 4. Within the next 4 months, there will be somebody that makes an offer for you to be a sponsor.
Okay.
And I'm almost wondering if it might be, again, a chain of spas, or maybe even one of the casinos, like Station Casinos, or Boyd Gaming. These are local casinos, right?
Yes.
So you may be able to get them to have specials that they present on your show, that if they heard it on Suzy's show or there was a special code, that they would get their room for, I don't know, 70% off or something like that.
Yeah.
But that it will also be a good tracking that, oh my gosh, people are tuning into your show.
Sure, that's the way to know.
The other thing, too, is that you came into this program with the idea that you want to be a catalyst for people, all right? Well, I feel like it's reciprocity here. So not only are you going to be a catalyst for people, but the people that you get connected with are also in some way going to be a catalyst for you. So, and then in your karmic cards, we've got that number 4 again. So something's going to happen in the next 4 months. So between now and say the end of August.
Okay, 4 months it is.
That your hard work is going to show ahead of you.
Okay.
And that when there's something that you can take advantage of, you also want to take advantage of the fact that you've got this coincidental vibe working for you, and that the angels or spirits, and when I say angels and spirits, it can be entities on the other side, but it is also the angels and spirits that are surrounding you right now. They're actually designed in here to help you. So that's like a full reading in a nutshell.
Wow.
Really fast.
Yes.
So I'm going to tell you what makes me different. Are you ready?
Yes.
Because I can't.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Yes.
Because you, as soon as I tell you why I'm different, then you're going to judge any other reader by this concept. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I don't ask you any questions.
No, you didn't.
Now, the only question I did ask you is because of this guy I don't like.
Yeah.
I asked you, do you recognize him?
Yes.
And you said yes.
Yes.
All right. I made the statement that if you're Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, this is more powerful. You volunteered Libra.
Yes.
Your husband here is as happy as he can possibly be because you anticipate things before he even thinks about them.
That's
All right.
true.
So now do you
There
have
you
any,
go, Steve.
do you have any questions?
Well, okay, something's going to happen in the next 4 months.
In the next 4 months, I believe it's going to be a sponsor or
Okay.
the shot in the arm that there's a reason why you're supposed to do this show.
Okay.
It feels like you're willing to do a little bit more outreach or a little bit more work in order to get attention
I am
connected
very
to
much
this.
so.
And that when the phone call comes in, and like if somebody were to call in and say, well, I would like to sponsor just one show because I have a festival coming up. So I'd like to sponsor a show before, I don't know, let's say May 1st, right?
Okay.
So that would be the show you would do next week, for example. And you'd say, well, for you to sponsor the whole show, it's $300. And we would do 2 commercial spots for yours, and we would close the show with your announcement of your event, right? People would have no problem taking care of that, especially if it's a travel show or a beauty show
Sure.
or a wellness show.
Absolutely.
Which appeals to people of a certain age. So anything else you want to ask?
Okay. what's going to happen in the next year? Are you able to tell from that?
Well, see, here's the thing, is that when I'm doing a reading for someone, I'm telling you the most important thing you need to know.
So 4 months.
So
Okay.
everything happens, what happens in the next year actually happens in the next 4 months.
Okay.
Because it sets the path for you of where you're going to go. Now, you're a woman who gets what she wants. And that's all you have to. I'm a woman who gets what I want.
Well,
you know?
sure. Absolutely.
I mean,
that's why we get along so well together, Mona.
You're so
That's why
funny.
she's on the show, folks.
You are so funny.
You know, Mona, this has been really, really interesting, but I'm glad you talked about all the things that, are out there. While we're talking, you sent some things over, and I'd like to have Rick show them, and we want to talk about the pictures. Right there, Mystic Mona,
Oh.
that's your logo.
Yes. So the woman who did my website.
Oh, I love this picture, Mona.
Yeah. So that was at an event for IMAX, and it was at the industrial space. And it was one of those, you know how someone takes a picture of you and you go, oh my God, that's a great picture of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was one of those. Yeah. But and
Oh,
that's,
I love that.
That's when I
Look
was on
who's in
Jimmy.
that
I know.
picture.
So Jimmy Kimmel's people called me.
Yeah.
This was, I think I was on in 2019. So they called me in March of 2019.
Yeah.
And they came out and filmed it.
Yeah.
And then they showed it when he was here in Vegas.
Oh, my
So the little
God.
segment. So it's Mystic Mona on Jimmy Kimmel. It was a bachelorette
Is that
feature.
who the girls were?
Yeah, the girls
And,
were bachelorette.
Rick,
one
show
was
the girls in Jimmy Kimmel again if you can.
So the
Yeah. There,
so,
right
yeah.
there.
So the bride is the gal that's sitting on my right, and the maid of honor is the gal sitting on my left.
Okay.
And that's Guillermo and Jimmy Kimmel.
Yes.
So yeah, it was so cool.
That had to be so cool.
Oh, my God.
I bet you were over the moon, weren't you?
Well, it is a big deal.
Oh, of course it is.
It's like
I am
it-
really excited for you.
No, it was a really big deal, So it's so funny because I've once every 10 years something happens, right?
Oh.
So in or maybe every 6 years. So in 2014,
Okay.
I was on Sister Wives.
Were you?
Okay, so there's a whole program where I'm doing readings for everybody, the wives, whatever.
Okay.
What's the guy's name? I want to say Cody. Maybe it's Cody. I think
Cody.
It's, yeah.
I think it
anyway,
is, yeah.
But of course, they didn't show his reading. They only showed the girls,
Oh,
ladies'
really?
readings. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Can we talk?
Well, anyway,
Maybe, maybe not.
so but it was. I really thought something was going to happen after that happened.
Yeah.
And basically, the only people that called me were people that already knew me. Hey, I saw you at Sister.
That's it.
Right. So, and same thing happened when I was on Jimmy Kimmel. I thought a whole bunch of people
Yeah.
that I didn't know were going to call me, but
Yeah.
no. Hey, I saw you on Jimmy Kimmel. I had a gal that used to live next door to me when I was 5 years old call
And she
me.
said, Mona, there you are.
She goes, "Oh my God, I saw you on Jimmy Kimmel," and I hadn't heard from her in like 40 years. It was crazy. It was crazy.
So see, then
Yeah.
you know how to bring people back. huh?
All those people from the past.
Yeah.
Anyway,
How cool is that?
I know, it was fun. It was fun.
I want to have you back again. I really do.
Oh, you're so sweet. Well, if you ever have a special
I do,
guest
yeah.
and you want me to actually do what we can call a psychic ambush,
Okay.
of course they would probably know it about in advance because we don't like to surprise people too
Oh,
much.
we're going to do that.
How
fun would that
But if
be?
you want me to come by and
Okay,
just
folks, you heard the challenge here. Psychic ambush. You're going to send me notes on who should I have on my show, and
Right.
then we'll surprise them with Mona. I love that.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Thank you so much for including me today, and thank you also for allowing me to talk to your folks and your
it's
followers.
important.
Because
Listen.
you guys, there are some really bad people out there,
That's
and
true.
there are some really amazing readers out there. As a matter of fact, I believe that nobody does what I do the way I do it, just like nobody does what Suzy does the way she does it.
Yeah.
I believe the people that are meant to find me will find me. I believe the people meant to find you will find you. All we
true.
have to do is respond. So when you say to yourself, nobody does what I do the way I do it. The people that are meant to find me will find me. All I have to do is respond. That is for any industry, whether you're in real estate or you're a beautician or you do nails or you massage or you're a plastic surgeon or whatever you do, as long as you relax into you're exactly perfect the way you are.
Yeah.
Suzy, you're exactly perfect the way you are.
Well, Mona, you're exactly perfect the way you are, too.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. This is so much fun.
Oh,
You know,
you're a delight.
I mean, there's so many people out there that, you did tell them the truth, though. That's what I love, and you should really listen to her.
So I have to tell you this one
Yeah,
thing.
please.
So I remember I was at an event and this woman, super cynical person, but she was told to book a reader for this event, but she didn't like readers at all. And she comes up to me and she goes, "So I don't know how you people work."
You people. Did you look around and say,
I said,
You
I
people?
said, well, I go, I don't have people. I go, but this is how I do it.
Yeah.
But people, some people just, they think that every reader is connected with some sort of tribe or clan.
Oh, my God.
And that's not the case.
No.
It's like, for me, I'm self-taught. So it's like,
you know what, folks? She just gave me an idea. I want to find out about Mona. So the next show, we're going to talk about Mona's life. What do you think?
maybe.
Like, subscribe, share, write in. We want Mona back. We want to hear her
You
story.
guys, you're so sweet. Suzy, thank you so much for having me on your program. It's been wonderful.
It was great.
And look how much you've grown
Yes.
since 11 years
Yeah.
ago. And I mean it all in a good way.
Well, that's
Yeah.
a good thing. Well, folks, that's our show for today. And we want Mona back. So remember, we want Mona back.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
So grab your headphones, let the journey start. With Suzy's Vegas tales, she's stealing the heart. In the city of dreams, let's laugh and play. Suzy's Las Vegas podcast, come join the sway.